Hi, my name's Brian. I'm here with Michael from Fender. We're going to be talking a little bit about serverless. So, Michael, you're with Director of Engineering with Fender. Can you tell us what made you decide to go serverless?
So we went serverless. We had to ingest a product catalog that our corporate IT division puts together. And the easiest way to process that and put it into DynamoDB on our side was to have them upload it into an S3 bucket in our account and then process the data from there. That was our first move into serverless, and seeing how easy that was, we ended up moving all of our APIs into there that support our consumer-facing applications.
Okay, wow, that's a lot, I'm assuming. So you dibbled your toes in with S3 and then started processing those events, putting them in Dynamo. I'm curious, what were the challenges choosing to move to this technology?
I'd say the biggest challenge was tooling. It was about 3 years ago when we started doing this. So at that time, there wasn't a lot. We had to roll our own, and we still run a lot of the roll our own stuff because it works extremely well for us.
Oh, that's really great. I'm curious. So, no point in changing anything if it's not broken, don't fix it. But so, which tooling did you roll, and what stuff would you not roll today if you had the ability to just like snap your fingers and change the infrastructure? And I know that that's never a realistic option. But what stuff is exciting to you right now?
I'd say the most exciting things are a lot of the things that are coming down the pike for Lambda. I mean, the increase in speed of a cold start when you're on a VPC, that's huge, as we've got some of our data within Dynamo, but a lot of it is also heavily relational. So we're using Aurora for that.
Okay, interesting. And so moving to Dynamo is pretty different than working with the Aurora and relational thing. How is that transition? Can you give us any tips for someone that's getting started out and wants to move to the Dynamo world?
I think you can do a lot of relational modeling in Dynamo, but it gets sort of tricky because you're reinforcing those relationships within the code itself. So over time, it becomes a bit of a maintenance. However, a lot of our data, the relationships are very simple or not really any relationships at all, except that's user-centric, like progress through a lesson or a course. And that's a great use case for Dynamo.
Yeah, I love DynamoDB. So on the Lambda side of things, can you tell us a little bit about how you're deploying and what that process looks like for a big company like Fender?
Sure, we use Go for all of our Lambda functions. And we came up with our own build process because we found the bottleneck was in building functions. So a given service could have 20 different Lambda functions as a part of it, and we deploy them as one unit. So what we actually did is we leveraged Lambda to build our Lambda function. So we can build all 20 of them in parallel and keep our deployment times well within limits.
Okay, that's really interesting. So what made you decide, where did you, and maybe we don't even have time for this, but how did you decide to split the app up? And you're using Lambda to build Lambda effectively. So are you packaging your own layer with your own compiler tooling and stuff? Or?
Unfortunately, with Go, you can't really use layers since it's a compiled binary. You could use a layer for, say, some static content or something, but we don't have any use case like that.
Okay, cool. Well, I think we're just about ready to wrap this one up. Thank you very much for meeting with me, Michael, and chatting with me. I'm Brian LeRoux, and we'll see you again soon.